Well, it is Sunday, February 7th, 2010, Super Bowl Sunday, and I want to talk about something more super than the Super Bowl. But, in a way, it is related to the game, which I will show you. You might call it more than winning. I'm Billy D. Teacher, and welcome to my YouTube video channel right here. And thanks for watching this video and all videos that you have watched. First off, the Super Bowl ended a little while ago, so I tip my hat to the New Orleans Saints and all their fans. Better luck next year to the Indianapolis Colts and their fans. I picked the Colts, and I'm a Colts fan, so I was cheering for the Colts. However, I'm very happy for the Saints and all their fans. Who could not be happy for New Orleans after what their city has been through, a few years back? Alright? But today I want to talk about something more important, more than winning. And I'm going to use, besides the Bible, I'm going to use this book written by former Nebraska football coach Tom Osborne, now athletic director at Nebraska. It's titled More Than Winning. Let me read just a part of it to get your juices up for this. It was 4th and 8 at the Miami 23rd yard line. We were trailing 31-24 with less than a minute to play. The chance to win the national championship was now reduced to a few precious seconds and the short span of chewed-up Orange Bowl turf. I called a 41 split pass. I watched as Jeff Smith slammed into two defenders and dove across the goal line. We had a chance. I set Early Fire back in with instructions to call the two-point play. As our team huddled, the crowd noise was so loud that I could hear nothing else. Then Turner Gill released the ball into the night sky. The roar of the crowd resented. But the mighty Nebraska Cornhuskers came up short. Their quest for the national championship ticked off with the seconds of the clock. It was not, however, enough to discourage the all-time winningest head football coach in Nebraska history. In his eyes, his team had been a success. His famous philosophy sustained him. Success cannot be measured in terms of wins. It is more than winning. Can a follower of Jesus play sports or coach sports? Think about that. You bet we can. Are followers of Jesus to be weak if they're playing football? Weak on defense. Oh, I don't want to tackle. That might hurt the guy. So are followers of Christ to be weak? Not at all. So how should a Christian play sports? Well, let me read to you from 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. Whether then you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. Whether then you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. Whatever a Christian does, a follower of Jesus, they are to do it to the glory of God, whether they're a football coach, a student, a teacher, a janitor, a player. We are to do it all to the glory of God. Okay? Now let me read from this book again, More Than Winning. So without a lot of preaching, the players are well aware of my spiritual stance. I hope they will see some things in me that would make Christianity attractive to them. In the same way those athletes at Estes Park first made the faith appealing to me. My primary goal in life is to honor Him. When I keep that objective upmost in my priorities, I find life has meaning, relationships are better, and life seems good. When the goal gets twisted to honor me, as it often does, whatever I do has a hollow ring to it. I begin to drift, and things no longer seem to fit. I think most Nebraska fans are aware of my spiritual stance, and I think a good many approve of it. Some probably don't. I know one common complaint about me during my first 4 or 5 years as head coach was that I was too nice a guy. The old nice guys finished last bitches. I don't see any comparity between being a football coach and being a Christian. The number one thing a coach has to do is to be himself. And if you're a Christian, then you better try not to be a hypocritical Christian. You'd better be consistent throughout whatever you do. The worst thing a coach can do is profess to be a Christian and then be devious in recruiting, manipulative in relations with players, or substandard in his or her personal life. It's a difficult road to walk. To be a professing Christian in the highly emotional up and down game of football has lots of snares for coaches. and he makes extra demands on players too. As I read what Christ represented, who he was, and what he said, and as I review the letters of Paul, I see we're called to be the best we can be. We're called to honor and glorify God by our actions and our thoughts. People relate in life in one or two ways. What is in it for me, or what can I contribute? Christ was a man for others and continues to call us today to ask, what can I contribute to this situation, to this team, to this organization? Okay, now, so we are here to glorify God, and that should be the attitude of every follower of Jesus, regardless of what they're doing in life. The Bible tells us that God created us to love Him and enjoy Him forever. However, we have all fallen short of God's plan. Romans 3:23 says in the Bible, all have sinned. It doesn't matter if you are a spiritual leader, a soul who is in church every week, every day, or living in prison. All of us are sinners. By the way, sin is not just bad behavior, which telling a lie, killing someone, committing adultery. It is also missing God's mark, which was perfection. Even though all of us have missed God's plan and mark, God has provided someone to do for us what we couldn't do for ourselves. He gave Jesus. And what did Jesus do? He died for every one of us. Even though he had no sin, he died for us who are sinners. He rose from the dead. And then it tells us in John 14:6 that he is the only way to God and heaven. He is not a possible way. He's not one of many ways. He is the only way. This is more than winning. This is more important than whether your team won the Super Bowl or not. If you're a New Orleans fan, you may be real happy tonight. But I tell you what, true peace and joy, no matter, even though your team won, will never come from a game. It will only come from a right relationship with Jesus Christ. And if you were for the Colts, you might be feeling down and depressed tonight. But guess what? There's more important things than that your team lost the Super Bowl game. It is where you will spend eternity. And Jesus is ready to take you to be with Him. All you have to do is say, Lord Jesus, I admit I'm a sinner. Come into my life. As I always have told you, please go to my blog and email me if I can be a help spiritually. There are things more important than winning a game, and that is winning in life, and you can't win in life unless you have Jesus. Thanks for watching this video. Come back again and watch other videos, and get in touch with me again if I can be a help spiritually. Until next time, I'm Billy D. Teacher. I'll see you.